something special about today?
Is it your birthday? Happy birthday!
No, it isn't my birthday. Today is 26th November. Every year it is celebrated as the Constitutional Day.
What's special about it?
Our Constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949.
But I heard that it came into effect on 26th January 1950. What makes the difference?
I don't know exactly. Just got one teacher.
Namaste, ma'am. We would have a doubt that when the Constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949, then why did it came into effect on 26th January 1950?
That is because before independence, our freedom fighters wanted to celebrate 26th January 1930 as our first Independence Day. So in order to give importance to that day, we celebrate 26th January as our Republic Day, and our Constitution came into effect from that day.
But ma'am, what is a Constitution?
Constitution is nothing but a set of rules according to which a government of any government functions.
Then, is it compulsory to follow rules and regulations?
I know that, right, ma'am?
Sure, why not?
Rules and regulations are very important. If you follow rules and regulations, then everything will go smoothly. There will be no chaos and no confusion. Just imagine, you are on the road and you do not follow safety rules at all. There will be accidents very often and no one will reach the destination on time.
Yes, now I understand why it is very important to follow rules in our school, home and society. It leads a harmonious life. Ma'am, I have another doubt. Why do we need a constitution?
That is a very good question. India is a vast country of various diversities of cultural, social and physical things. So in order to maintain set rules and regulations in such a country, we need a constitution. People belonging to different religions, regions, speak different languages. They have different lifestyles. All of them may or may not agree upon different issues and their solutions. So, Constitution provides a set of rules that is acceptable by everyone, and it provides a trust between the government and the citizens. Apart from that, our Constitution defines the powers and functions of the government that is ruling us. Furthermore, it gives all the citizens rights and freedom that they have to enjoy.
Ma'am, then who made our constitution?
Our Constitution was made by a Constituent Assembly that was elected indirectly. There were 299 members in our Constituent Assembly. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar sir was the head of the drafting committee, while Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the chairperson of the Constituent Assembly. The founding fathers of our Constitution have made sure to incorporate different principles that were cherished by our freedom fighters during the freedom struggle. They've also made sure to adopt the best features of different constitutions around the world. The ideas and views of people have been translated into ideals in our Constitution.
I've seen this line in the Constitution. We, the people of India. What does it mean?
Ma'am, I know that. Our preamble begins with this sentence.
Oh, now what is a preamble?
Preamble is the introduction to our constitution on which the entire laws has been built. That is why it is known as the soul of our constitution. Ma'am, I have another doubt. You said that government follows the laws of the constitution. Can it change the laws?
I know that. May I answer it, ma'am?
Sure.
In fact, the government can change the constitution. It is called as amendment. The Constitution provides us with three different procedures of amending the Constitution. The first is simple majority, the second is special majority, and the third one is special majority and ratification.
Ma'am, now I understood the importance of Constitution and number of rights and freedoms which are provided by the Constitution.
Remember, we also have certain duties and rights, and we have to follow them as citizens. Rights and duties are like two sides of the coin. If we follow our duties properly, then we can enjoy our rights too. So let us all follow our rights, duties, and enjoy our rights and live a harmonious life.
Now we understand that Constitution is an integral part in our lives. It gives us duties and rights. It has helped the country. It has helped the country to remain stable throughout all these years. Isn't it right, ma'am?
That is exactly right. Now let us know the ideals of our Constitution.
Thank you.
A form of government where people enjoy equal political rights. They elect their rulers and hold them accountable.
Government should work for the welfare of all, especially for the disadvantaged groups.
Liberty.
There are no unreasonable restrictions on citizens in what they think.
Socially. Wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by the society.
Secular. Citizens have complete freedom to follow the religion. Republic. The head of the state is an elected position, not an hereditary position.
Sovereign. No power can dictate the government of India. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status, and of opportunity, and to promote among them all, fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November, 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Of the Parliament and discuss its important issues. Today, let's see how Triple Talaq issue was passed. Thank you.
I see that all the members of the Parliament are well experienced. I request each and every member of the Parliament to maintain the decorum of the House. I hope this session will be fruitful. The session begins now. Question hour begins. Ms. Rohita, please proceed. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak. Will the Minister of Defence be pleased to state the total number of vacancies in Indian Army in the grade of Jawan from the year 2018 to 2022? The details of vacancies filled up during the year 2018 to 2022 year-wise and the details of advertisement issued for recruitment of Jawan in the year 2022. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I request the Defence Minister to answer this question. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On an average, 60,000 vacancies occur for recruitment, all the three services every year, out of which approximately 50,000 vacancies are for Indian Army. Due to suspension of recruitment rallies from the last 2 years due to COVID-19, these vacancies are expected to come down. With the improvement in COVID-19 situation and the start of process of recruitment, these vacancies are expected to come down in the coming years. Enrolled since 2018 under 2017 to 18, 50,026, 2018 to 19, 53,431, 2019 to 20, 80,572, 2020 to 21, 12,091, 2021 to 22, nil. The recruitment process for the recruiting years 2020 to 21 and 2020 to 22 was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The recruitment publicity is undertaken through print, electronic and social media in English, Hindi and vernacular languages and by organizing outreach programs in educational institutions.
The details are also hosted on the recruitment website www.joinindianarmy.nic.in. Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Purti, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Minister of External Affairs be pleased to state whether the government has received any complaints in respect of Indian passport carrying issues in foreign countries during the last 3 years and the current year, and if so, the details thereof and the steps taken by the government in this regard along with the time by which it will be resolved. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I request the External Affairs Minister to answer this question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak. I would like to mention that Yes, Madam Speaker, no major complaints was received by the government in respect of Indian passport scanning issues during the last 3 years and the current year. However, minor complaints were received by Indian and post withdrawals which were later rectified by issuing the new booklet in this regard. Thank you.
With this, we come to an end to the question hour. Now, the 0 hour begins. I request the Honorable Law Minister to introduce the bill.
Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce the bill Triple Talaq. I introduce the bill to protect the rights of Muslim women to
I request the opposition party to maintain the decorum of the House. Honorable Law Minister, please continue.
to prevent divorce by pronouncing talaq by
किसी को फायदा नहीं होगा.
Mr. Khan, please sit down.
मैम सिर्फ एक मिनट मैम प्लीज मैम.
Please sit down. You will be given the chance.
मैम ये हमारे देश के बहनों के बारे में है. मैं चुप नहीं रह सकता. सिर्फ एक मिनट मैम प्लीज मैम. ऑनरेबल लॉ मिनिस्टर, अरे बिल पास करने से पहले हमारा मशवरा लेना था. आज कभी कोई हिंदू जाति के अंतर्गत तलाक हुआ हो तो हस्तक्षेप नहीं किया है. इस बिल से फायदा तो छोड़िए, नुकसान ज्यादा है.
Honorable Law Minister, please continue.
Madam Speaker, this bill was actually passed by Lok Sabha but not passed by Rajya Sabha where it lapsed as the term of the House ended. According to the Constitution, the government is reintroducing the bill and I, Madam Speaker, request the House to pass this bill. The bill says, any pronouncement of talaq by a person upon his wife by words, either spoken or written or in electronic form or whatsoever shall be void and illegal. Only complaint with the police by the wife or her blood relatives will be recognized. It is a non-bailable offence. Only a magistrate can grant the bail after hearing the wife. A Muslim man who resorts to talaq-e-biddat or instant talaq would be jailed for 3 years and custody of any minor children would be granted to the affected woman. The draft bill also entitles divorced Muslim women for maintenance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Ayushman, please hold the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak. According to Article 25, uncodified Muslim personal law is not subject to constitutional judicial review. भाई साहब, कुरान को ठीक से पढ़िए.
Miss Nandini, please sit down.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am, please.
बस
आपको मौका दिया जाएगा. बैठिए प्लीज.
1 minute, ma'am, 1 minute.
मैं कह रही थी ये रिकॉर्ड पर नहीं जाएगा.
Ma'am, बस 1 minute.
भाई साहब, कुरान को ठीक से पढ़िए. यहाँ पति को अपने फैसले पर पुनर्विचार करने के लिए, समय देने के लिए तलाक के खत्म होने से पहले 3 महीने की प्रतीक्षा अवधि निर्धारित करता है. यहाँ बिल शरीयत के खिलाफ बिल्कुल नहीं जाता है. कुरान पढ़ने की जरूरत है, आपको जरूरत है.
Miss Tejasvi, please answer.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. According to Article 25, triple talaq does not come under the essential tenet of religious belief. Quran does not speak about talaq-e-biddat. How can you say that uncodified Muslim personal law is not subject to constitutional judicial review? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Khan, please proceed.
Thank you, ma'am. Divorce. Divorce occurs multiple times throughout the country, isn't it? when a man tries to obtain a divorce, it's just another ordinary day. But when a woman tries to obtain the divorce, everybody comes to know about it, and her image is scandalized. Hence, madam, my question to the ruling party, through you, is why, when divorce is obtained from court, it scandalizes, I repeat, scandalizes the character of women, but for men, the damage is less. Why is this being allowed in our society? Thank you.
Minister Ms. Pritha, please answer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, here I would like to say that according to the government survey study, 92% of the Indian Muslim women, 92% of the Indian Muslim.
This is totally unfair.
Mr. Ayushman, please sit down.
Just 1 minute, madam.
बैठिए प्लीज.
Just 1 minute.
सुनीता दीदी को क्या बोल रहा है? फिर बोलिए.
Just 1 minute, madam. Just 1 minute. This is totally unfair. You are using this for your own political gain. This is totally unfair. I repeat, this is totally unfair.
Ms. Pritha, please continue.
Thank you, Madam. You should have enough patience, Mr. Ayush. You should have enough patience to listen my answers patiently. धैर्य रखिए महाशय, धैर्य रखिए. To repeat to my point, madam, according to the government study survey, 92% of the Indian Muslim women want the triple talaq to be banned. 10 lakh Muslim women, yes, 10 lakh Muslim women have been given the written consent for the abolition of triple talaq. More than 20 countries around the world like Malaysia, Indonesia, Afghanistan, Jordan have made a legislation in Sharia. They are protecting their women. We do belong to a democratic and a secular country. Then why don't we protect our women? Thank you, madam.
Ms. Purki, please pose your question.
Madam Speaker.
To you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I would like to pose the question to the ruling party that this is a practice which has been followed for 1400 years. Then why? Why should it be banned now? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Ms. Tejasvi, please answer.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to speak. Merely because a practice has been allowed for 1400 years, it does not make it eligible for the constitutional protection. Triple talaq is against the Quran and thus lacks legal sanction. What is held to be bad in the Holy Quran cannot be good in the Sharia. What is bad in theology is bad in law as well. दूसरे खलीफा के समय जब एक आदमी ने अपने पत्नी को 3 तलाक दिया था, से 40 करोड़, जी हाँ, 40 करोड़ की सजा दी गई थी. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Srivastava, please pose your question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to pose a question to you to the ruling party. Why the Supreme Court's progressive judgment is being used to formulate a regressive law?
Ms. Nandini, please answer.
Madam Speaker, through you I would like to address this Parliament that what dates we have received from the Supreme Court is that 243 cases of triple talaq have been found in the year 2017, in which 59 is after a judgment declared necessary. It's about the progress of the women of this nation, development of the nation. We call ourselves a secular, socialist, democratic country. So let's act like one. Let's take decisions like one. As a woman, you and I both will understand because of 3 simple words. Talaq, talaq, talaq. We can lose our homes, we can lose our families, we can lose everything. It's such a shame. It's such a shame that we still follow these undesirable patriarchal practices in our society. It's such a shame, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Ayushman, please pose your question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me another wonderful opportunity to speak. Since marriage is a civil contract, the procedure to be followed on its breakdown should also be of civil nature only. Then why is it being made criminal?
Ms. Sahasra, please answer.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. Because there was no law until now to punish those who practice triple talaq and to provide such practice. A need has arisen to make a law for the effective implementation of the Supreme Court judgment. It is the need of the hour to punish those who practice triple talaq and to provide justice for the women of our country. Thank you.
ये शादी नहीं कोई मजाक है क्या? मिस नंदिनी, क्यों बेटा?
एक मिनट मैम, एक मिनट।
बैठिए।
मैम बस एक मिनट मैम।
आपको मौका दिया जाएगा, बैठिए प्लीज।
मैम बस एक मिनट, एक चीज बोलने।
I request you to maintain the decorum, please. Don't interrupt like this.
एक मिनट मैम।
ये शादी नहीं कोई मजाक है क्या? खाने में नमक ज्यादा हो गया, तलाक तलाक तलाक। फोन पे तलाक तलाक तलाक। SMS में तलाक तलाक तलाक। कहीं भी चलते चलते तलाक तलाक तलाक। ये शादी नहीं कोई मजाक है क्या? हम शादी को जन्मों जन्मों का बंधन मानते हैं। जन्मों जन्मों का बंधन मानते हैं। ये तीन शब्द में टूट जाए, क्या ये सही बात है? थैंक यू।
Miss Rohita, please proceed.
थैंक यू मैडम स्पीकर। मिस नंदिनी, अब इतने भी भावुक होने की जरूरत नहीं है। मैं भी एक नारी हूँ, हमें भी पता है कि नारी सशक्तिकरण कैसे किया जाता है। मैडम स्पीकर, through you I would like to pose a question to the ruling party. Why triple talaq can't be provisioned as one of the civil matters according to the bill? 3 years, yes, 3 years imprisonment is given to the husband. Why the criminal angle introduced in a civil matter, especially when there is no punishment for desertion in other religions? There is no clarity on who would provide maintenance to the wife. Will your government give sustenance to the woman whose husband has been raped? Will your government spend on her child's education? Once the husband is in jail, and we argue such harmless tactics cannot bring a family together. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Miss Kavya, please answer.
The women and her children are entitled to receive an allowance for subsistence. Such an amount can be determined by the judicial magistrate of the first class. The parties may arrive and compromise if the Muslim women insist the same. The magistrate can allow certain terms and conditions which he may determine. Thank you so much, Honorable Madam Speaker.
Mr. Khan, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Triple talaq. We have been discussing about this topic for quite a while now, haven't we? Madam Speaker, I myself consider triple talaq to be a part of the Domestic Violence Act passed in the year 2005. Madam Speaker, not only I, but experts also do suggest that triple talaq can be considered as verbal as well as emotional abuse. Hence, Madam Speaker, my question to the ruling party through you is why can't triple talaq be considered under the Domestic Violence Act 2005? Because this could have opened up multiple relief avenues, such as residence in marital homes, medical facilities, maintenance, just to name a few. Thank you.
Miss Pritha, please answer.
Thank you, madam. तो क्या अन्याय चलने दे और कितने सदियों तक आप लोग हमारी महिलाओं के ऊपर अपना राज चलाते रहेंगे? हमारे बहन बेटियों को क्या सशक्त नहीं बनाना है? इसलिए हमारी मुसलमान बहनों की भलाई को ध्यान में रखते हुए मैडम स्पीकर, मैं बार बार कहती हूँ, इस बिल को पास करवा दिया जाए। धन्यवाद।
Miss Rohita, please pose your question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to pose a question through you to the ruling party. Does our judiciary process have the jurisdiction or patriarchal practices in the society?
Miss Tomili, please answer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. आज मुश्किल है, कल थोड़ा बेहतर होगा। बस उम्मीद मत छोड़ना, भविष्य बेहतरीन होगा। Societies of different faiths are essentially patriarchal. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, This is true for all faiths. Codification of such faiths binds on the individuals within the community. This process is evolutionary. Hence, the court doesn't have any jurisdiction over it. It doesn't breach any of the articles of the Constitution. Equality is the basic structure of Constitution. Patriarchs still believe that a woman belongs in the kitchen and not in a suit. Thank you.
Now, I request the Prime Minister to address the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Namaste to everyone. I am very glad to be a part of today's assembly regarding the bill Triple Talaq. Today, a historical decision will take place. Women, to whichever religion they belong to, they are India's daughters, and for our Constitution, all daughters are equal. It is a matter of respect, justice, and equality of women, and our government stands for it. Today, let's ensure that if you don't get justice, this House will be giving you justice. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
With this, we come to an end to the discussion of the bill. Now, the House will go for voting. Those who are in the favor of the bill, please raise your hands. We see that the majority of the people are in the support of the bill. The bill is passed.
Ma'am, I have a question. Do the Muslim women really complain against their husbands?
Definitely, they will. As the minister stated, 10 lakh Muslim women, yes, 10 lakh Muslim women came out and signed in for the favor of Triple Talaq. They will complain and they will get a redressal. I am confident with that and I ensure it.
Thank you for answering, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question. Ma'am, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, who is going to take care of the maintenance and security of the woman and her children if the husband goes to jail? Maintenance will be decided by the magistrate after the hearing from the wife. And when it comes to security, who will provide the woman security if she is given divorce? And one more question.